Now, I looked at it because it was looking good, but I said, no, 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 no. Hey fam, welcome back to my channel. As you can see by the title, today's video is going to be another weekly high protein meal prep. If you're new here, my name is DeeDee. Welcome. I've lost a little over 90 pounds, basically following a low carb lifestyle. I've done keto, carnivore, and right now I am on high protein, low carb. And meal prepping has definitely helped me stay on track. For example, last week, it was super busy with work. And I remember one day I was working till about 7:30 and I was tired. I didn't feel like cooking dinner. My family, they ordered pizza. But what I did was I went and I grabbed that cabbage and chuck roast that I made last week's meal prep. And baby, I put that thing in the microwave and heated it up and it hit the spot. Okay? I had no excuses to even touch a slice of pizza. Now I looked at it because it was looking good, but I said, no, 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 and I ate my meal prep. So the menu for this week's meal prep includes a casserole for breakfast. For lunch, we're bringing back out those mason jars because we're gonna have a delicious new salad. And then for dinner, we're gonna make an Alfredo bake, high protein, low carb style, okay? Enough chit chat, let's go ahead and jump right into this meal prep. All right, y'all, let's jump right into this breakfast prep because we don't play about starting the day with something filling and high protein and definitely delicious. So we're going to keep it simple, but still give it some flavor. We're going to start off by chopping up about 1/4 of a yellow onion and a mix of red, green, and yellow bell peppers. I love using all of the colors. Now, if you're like me and you never use a whole pepper at once, here's a tip. Don't waste those leftovers. I always toss the extra pieces into a little Ziploc bag and I make a plan to use them in the next day or two. Okay? Saves money and it keeps you from throwing food out. So we're chopping these pretty small, not tiny and not bulky, just a nice even chop so that they saute evenly. Now we're doing a little quick spray of avocado oil and my pan is on medium heat. You don't need much avocado oil, just enough to keep things moving. I started off with the onions first because they take just a little longer to cook and soften. We're letting them cook for about 2 to 3 minutes until they start turning translucent. Nope, I want to make sure they don't burn either, so I'm turning the burner down some, and then we're going to add our bell peppers. Now, we want to keep that heat at a medium low. We're sauteing, we're not frying, and we're letting those flavors develop. Y'all, I love hearing that sizzle whenever I'm sauteing vegetables. I don't know why, but all of those colors just look so good to me. All right, we're gonna go ahead and place this pan to the side. The veggies are done, and we're gonna go ahead and grab a bigger pan. Now, this is what we'll be using to brown our turkey sausage. This sausage has about 12 grams of protein. It is super convenient and so good. Now go ahead and break it up in that pan. I honestly break up my meat with whatever is on hand, whatever is convenient. I did buy a tool that works so well to break up meat, but sometimes I also don't mind using my spatula. So just use whatever works for you when you're trying to break up your meat. You want to cook it for about 5 to 7 minutes until it browns and you don't see any pink at all. And when it's done, go ahead and take it off that heat so it can cool slightly. Now we're going to move on to making the egg mixture. I'm cracking 7 eggs into my bowl. Now you can add more if you want thicker slices of your casserole, but for me, 7 eggs gives me that perfect firmness. Then I'm adding 1/2 cup of heavy cream for richness, a teaspoon of black pepper, and of course, a little bit of Redmond's salt. You want to make sure that you mix this egg mixture up until it's smooth and it's silky. Now let's build this casserole dish. So grab your baking dish and give it a quick spray with some avocado oil so nothing sticks. And then we're going to spread the sauteed veggies across the bottom. Now that flavor layer is going to make every bite so good. Then I'm sprinkling the turkey sausage right on top of those veggies. And then we're pouring that egg mixture evenly over the top. I like to take my spatula and just lightly move things around just so the peppers peek through, okay? Because I want y'all to see that color after it bakes. Now for the cheese, I'm doing a mix of cheddar fiesta blend. I'm using about a cup and a half of shredded cheese and also adding a little bit of feta on top. Now trust me, that feta gives just a nice salty bite. Then we're going to move on to the oven. We're popping it into a preheated oven at 350 degrees for about 35 to 45 minutes. And once that timer goes off, baby, you're looking for those edges to be set and the middle to have just a little tiny wiggle. Now that's how you know it's perfect. Now look at that. Just nice, golden, cheesy, and smelling amazing. High protein, low carb, and delicious. All right, it's lunchtime, and listen, mason jar salads are such a game changer if you're busy, if you travel, or if you just want grab and go meals that stay fresh. Now for lunch, we're starting off by air frying 5 slices of bacon at 390 degrees for about 7 minutes. And if you like yours extra crispy like me, go ahead and check halfway through and just keep it going, okay? After about 7 minutes, the bacon is done. Air fried bacon is so simple to make, y'all. I placed it on a paper towel to drain, and now I am grabbing my jars. Okay, layering definitely matters. Now this is how we keep our greens fresh instead of soggy. So the first layer is about 2 to 3 tablespoons of Bolthouse Farms Classic Ranch in each jar. It's yogurt based, it's creamy, it's flavorful, and it's lighter than regular ranch, okay? Now the second layer, tomatoes. Now I'm using 2 tomatoes for these 4 jars. As you can see, one's a little bigger, but listen, okay? We are using what we have today. You want to make sure that you dice up those tomatoes and divide them across all 4 jars. Next up is our turkey breast. I'm using some honey smoked turkey breast today, about 4 slices for each jar. Then we add in our cheese, some shredded cheese, fiesta blend, and then we're crumbling up the bacon. When it's nice and crispy, you can hear that crunch when you are crumbling it up. And I'm going to sprinkle it into those jars. I'm doing my best to sprinkle it evenly, but yes, eyeballing is absolutely fine in this kitchen. The last layer is the greens. I'm using a spring mix, but you can definitely use romaine or shredded lettuce, whatever you like. Just press it in gently, not too tight, not too loose. And boom, you have 4 turkey club salads ready to grab throughout the week. And when you're ready, just dump it in a bowl and enjoy. Now it is dinner time. Now this one right here, this one hits every time. Creamy, comforting, and cozy, but still low carb and high protein. We're starting off with 4 boneless, skinless chicken thighs. Now listen, thighs are forgiving. They are juicy, tender, and flavorful. You don't have to worry about them drying out. That's why I love chicken thighs. Now, even though they're skinless, sometimes there's still some extra fat on the edges. And today, I'm just trimming a bit of that off. Now, if this was a crispy chicken recipe, I would keep it. But for Alfredo, we are trimming it. All right. Now it's time to season. You already know my staples: Redmond salt, nature seasoning, total seasoning, garlic powder, onion powder, and some cayenne for a little bit of heat. And now all I'm doing is just making sure that I'm massaging all of those seasonings into each piece of chicken. Okay? You want every bite to hit. Now you can use whatever staple seasonings that gives you that flavor that you like. Just make sure you're rubbing it in very well. Now my cast iron skillet's been heating up on medium-high heat with about 2 to 3 tablespoons of avocado oil. Once it got hot, I added the chicken thighs to that skillet. We are cooking it for about 4 to 5 minutes per side. You want to make sure that you're flipping it, and when you flip it over, you want to see that browned golden crust, okay? Flavor is built in the pan, y'all. Now once they're cooked, your chicken thighs should be nice, juicy, and crisp. You can definitely check the temperature just to make sure that they're at least 165 degrees Fahrenheit. And then also make sure that you remove them from that burner so that they can stop cooking. Now for our creamy base, we're gonna heat up our pan on the stove, but we're gonna move on to the broccoli. So I steamed that broccoli in the microwave, and now all I'm doing is draining the water. Then we're gonna add it to that warm pan, and we're gonna let the moisture evaporate, okay? Just toss it in there with that heat and let the water dry out. And then we're gonna go ahead and pour in that Alfredo sauce. Now, I'm cheating just a little bit today using the Broccoli Alfredo sauce because you can definitely make homemade with butter, heavy cream, Parmesan, and all of that. But convenience works too, okay? So no guilty feeling over here for using that jar of Alfredo sauce. All I'm doing here is just mixing the sauce into that broccoli. And then I'm just going to go ahead and start seasoning it up. I started off with a little bit of cayenne pepper because you know I like a little spice in my life. I also added some garlic powder and sprinkled about a 1/4 cup of Parmesan cheese as well. Now be sure to keep your heat low because cheese sauces, they burn fast, okay? So I have to watch that pan. We don't want no burnt Alfredo. So let's allow this to just go ahead and simmer on low and move on to the chicken. All right, y'all, here is the chicken. Look at how good that looks. Oh my gosh, and it smells really good too. Now listen, when I cut into this chicken, it was so juicy. I really had to check myself real quick, okay? I almost started eating pieces right then and there, but I had to realize, you know what? We are meal prepping, okay? We are not snacking. Well, sometimes we're doing both, but not today, okay? So I just went ahead and continued to slice this chicken. Now I'm doing it into like bite-sized slices or bite-sized pieces. It definitely doesn't have to be perfect whatsoever. Just slice the chicken to your liking and try not to eat it all before the meal is over, okay? Now before I add the chicken into the pan, I put a little bit of water into that sauce jar so we don't waste anything. I poured the rest of that sauce in there, and then now I'm stirring the chicken in gently, and I'm just mixing it up and coating everything. The broccoli, the chicken, we want everything in that sauce. Okay, we want everything to be saucy and creamy. Now, I'm making sure that the temperature is on low because like I told you before, that sauce will burn easily, okay, with the cheese sauce. So I'm just mixing it, making sure nothing's sticking to the bottom. And then I'm going to allow it to go ahead and simmer on low because dinner is almost done. And there it is. Look at our creamy, delicious chicken and broccoli Alfredo. Y'all, we don't need no pasta today. And there is our 4 days of meals ready to go. We have turkey, sausage, egg, and veggie casserole for breakfast, a turkey club mason jar salad for lunch, and of course our creamy chicken and broccoli Alfredo for dinner. Everything is high protein, low carb, flavorful, balanced, and cost effective. All right, fam, another week of meal prep is down in the books, okay? This week's meals smell good. I know they're gonna taste good, and I am ready. Drop it down in the comments below which meal you're willing to try or you're thinking about trying this week in your kitchen. And you already know, drop a heart just to show some love. I appreciate you. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye.